Welcome back, Dark Passengers. We are now starting a new series which is character breakdowns of Dexter franchise. So today we're diving deep into the episode 1 of our character breakdown series, which is on Brian Moser, the ice truck killer, who is played on the Dexter series by Christian Camargo. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into the darkness. Brian Moser, the ice truck killer, complete life timeline. Early life. Born, 1971, approximately. Full name, Brian Moser. Parents, Laura Moser, mother, father unknown. Sibling, Dexter Moser, later Dexter Morgan, younger brother. 1979, the origin trauma. Brian grows up in a chaotic environment. His mother, Laura Moser, works with the Miami Metro Police as an informant in the drug world. Around 1979, when Brian is approximately 7 years old and Dexter is approximately 3, witness their mother, Laura Moser, brutally murdered with a chainsaw inside a shipping container by drug dealers. The boys are left sitting in a pool of blood for 2 days, surrounded by their mother's remains. This event becomes the core trauma that defines both their lives. Psychological impact. Both children experience deep trauma. Dexter's emotional development freezes, leading to psychopathy with suppressed emotion. Brian, being older, remembers everything vividly. He internalizes the horror consciously. 1980 system failure. After rescue, both boys are found by Harry Morgan, the responding officer. Harry adopts Dexter, seeing him as salvageable, sensing potential in the child but believing Brian is too damaged. Brian is sent to a mental institution, a state psychiatric hospital. Instead of a home, labeled as psychologically unstable and beyond rehabilitation. This rejection becomes the defining wound of Brian's life, the first betrayal. This separation, Harry taking Dexter and abandoning Brian, is the defining wound of Brian's existence. 1980 to 1991, institutionalization and rebirth. Institution, State Psychiatric Facility, Florida. Ages, 8 to 20. Brian spends over a decade institutionalized, his entire youth and early adulthood in state psychiatric care. Exhibits emotional detachment, high intelligence, and violent ideation. Deemed emotionally disconnected and untreatable. Studies anatomy, dissection, and the mechanics of the human body. Learns to mask emotions and manipulate others, skills that later define his precision as the ice truck killer. Develops an obsession with reconnection, identity, and blood as memory. 1990s, Escape and Reinvention. 1991, Dexter, Original Sin, prequel series, setting, Miami, early 1990s. Brian's age, approximately 20. Released or escaped from psychiatric supervision. Operates in the shadows of Miami under the alias, the NHI Killer, no human involved, targeting victims connected to social systems that failed him. Kills Barb, a social worker responsible for separating him from Dexter after the shipping container incident. Begins tracking Harry and Dexter from a distance, learning that Dexter has been adopted and molded by Harry's moral code. Obsesses over this injustice, watching his brother live the life that was stolen from him. Adopts new identities and works various menial or surgical related jobs. Develops a fascination with human anatomy, dissection, and reconstructive art. Eventually becomes a prosthetics specialist, an ironic nod to his skill with cutting and reconstruction. Key scene, Original Sin finale. Brian encounters Dexter in a restaurant, asks if he's expecting company. Dexter doesn't recognize him. The moment confirms Brian's obsession. He will make Dexter remember. You were mine before he took you. I'll make you see it. 1990s - 2005, the Ghost Brother years. Alias, S, varies, no stable identity. Occupation, prosthetics specialist, later, base, Miami and South Florida area. Brian moves through life under new names, perfecting his disguise and surgical precision. Learns prosthetics engineering, blending artistry, anatomy, and detachment. Begins constructing a psychological puzzle for Dexter long before they meet, viewing murder as a form of art, communication, and reclamation. His victims are chosen and displayed as messages, not trophies. 2005-2006, Dexter Season 1, The Ice Truck Killer. Alias, Rudy Cooper. Occupation, prosthetics specialist, Miami Hospital. Brian's age, approximately 35. Rudy, short for Rudolph Cooper, a prosthetics expert, becoming the Ice Truck Killer. 2005 Miami return. Returns to Miami under the alias Rudy Cooper. discovers Dexter's identity and realizes his lost brother is alive and thriving as a respected blood spatter analyst for Miami Metro. Begins to stage elaborate murders as a form of communication, his way of speaking to Dexter through coded artistry. Begins a series of meticulously staged murders. Victims are drained of blood, a mirror of their trauma. Body parts are posed and color-coded, a macabre language meant for Dexter. Each crime scene references the shipping container and their mother's death. Meets Deborah Morgan, Dexter's adoptive sister, while posing as Rudy. Begins a romantic relationship with her to get closer to Dexter. Simultaneously taunts Miami Metro with a trail of artistic murders. His kills are surgical, clean, and symbolic. Body parts are dismembered and drained of blood, displayed as tableaus. Each kill is a message to Dexter, pushing him to remember their shared trauma. When Dexter begins to uncover the truth, Brian reveals his identity. We're brothers, Dex. Same blood, same memory, same darkness. Key symbolism, bloodlessness. His victims are drained, representing the cold, hollow detachment they share. Color-coded clues, nail polish, Barbie dolls, crime scenes, all echo their mother's death scene. Psychological goal, Brian doesn't want to destroy Dexter. He wants to free him from Harry's code and morality. He sees Dexter's potential for pure, unapologetic expression, to be what they were meant to be. Late 2006 revelation and confrontation. Dexter pieces together the clues and realizes Rudy equals the icetruckkiller equals his biological brother. When confronted, Brian joyfully reveals their shared past, the blood, the container, their mother. Tries to persuade Dexter to abandon Harry's code and embrace his true nature. Accept his real self and kill Deborah to seal their bond. Invites him to kill Deborah as a final act of freedom. Dexter cannot do it. His bond with Deborah wins. Dexter refuses. Brian's death. Dexter sedates Brian and kills him by slitting his throat, mirroring the calm precision of Brian's own murders. He stages it as a suicide. Age, approximately 35. Death year, 2006. Brian dies smiling, believing his brother finally understood him. Died with a smile, believing he and Dexter are finally connected in blood. 2007 to 2013, posthumous presence. Manifestations. Status, dead. Presence, hallucination, dark passenger, appears season 6, Nebraska. Appears in Dexter's mind as a hallucination, representing pure, uninhibited darkness. Replaces Harry's moral ghost temporarily. Brian appears in later seasons, especially season 7, as a hallucinatory projection of Dexter's darker self, replacing Harry's moral voice. Represents unfiltered freedom, a manifestation of the dark passenger without restraint. Serves as a reminder of what Dexter could have become without the code. Urges Dexter to embrace chaos and kill without reason or guilt. Serves as the physical embodiment of what Dexter could have been if raised without the code. Harry chained you, I would have set you free. 2025, Dexter, Resurrection, sequel series, context, Dexter survives the events of New Blood. Brian's form, vision, manifestation of Dexter's dark psyche. Brian's purpose, to confront and tempt. Appears to Dexter following Angel Batista's death, a moment symbolizing the collapse of Dexter's moral world. Brian mocks Dexter's attempts at normalcy and redemption. Still trying to live Harry's dream. He was never your father, I was. Serves as the final confrontation between Dexter's guilt, Harry's code, and his innate darkness, Brian's philosophy. Dexter rejects him. I'm glad I killed you when I had the chance. Brian fades, symbolizing Dexter's last grasp on self-control. Character themes. Duality, nature versus nurture. Both brothers share the same origin, but diverge through upbringing. Rejection and reconnection. Brian's entire life revolves around being abandoned and yearning for reunion. Blood as bond. For Brian, blood isn't evidence. It's identity, memory, and love. The pure monster. Unlike Dexter, Brian feels no guilt, no conflict. He is wholly integrated with his darkness. Thematic summary. Brian Moser. Core trauma witnessing mother's chainsaw murder, trapped in blood for 2 days. Motivation reconnection with Dexter, vengeance on abandonment, liberation from moral hypocrisy. Symbolism blood equals memory, family, identity. Philosophy, we are what they made us. The blood doesn't lie. Conflict nature, Brian's truth, versus nurture, Dexter's code, final legacy catalyst of Dexter's awakening and moral questioning. his death defines the path Dexter chooses. Quick timeline, lifeline, Brian Moser. This builds on the earlier timeline and adds new canonical events from Original Sin, prequel, and Resurrection, sequel. It is in the order of approximately year, era, his age, stage events, and cliff notes. Canon additions from prequel and Resurrection tilde 1971 to 1979, childhood 0 to 7 born, witness to Laura Moses' murder. Brain and Dexter share the container trauma. Institutionalization, as before, 1980s to 1990s youth to early adulthood lives in institutions, develops identity, obsessions. As before, 1991, in Original Sin timeline, teenage Brian Dexter, Original Sin places Brian, young, played by Roby Attle, in Dexter's orbit early. He is revealed over time to be watching from afar and orchestrating his actions. Young Brian is confirmed as NHI Killer. In Original Sin, Episode 10, Code Blues, he tries to get close to young Dexter, envious of Dexter's life and family connections with Harry. Also murders a social worker, Barb, who separated him from the family, a revenge motive tied to his past. He watches a crime scene he orchestrated, later tries to approach Dexter in a restaurant, asking if he is expecting company, which signals his desire to reconnect, even if Dexter can't yet recall or accept him. Late 1990s 2005 adult, after escape, reinventionist earlier, becomes prosthetics expert, starts shadowing Dexter, but Dexter is unaware. Build up to Season 1. 2005-2006, Dexter Season 1 to 35 appears as Rudy Cooper, becomes icetruckkiller, reveals identity, tries to draw Dexter into rejecting Harry's code. Dexter kills him. After 2006, Brian is dead in the physical world, but appears as ghost, hallucination in later seasons, notably Season 6, Nebraska, Op. 2025, Dexter, Resurrection post-New Blood sequel era Brian returns again, but as a hallucination, mental manifestation of Dexter's guilt and darker self. Specifically, after Angel Batista's death, Brian appears, taunts Dexter for trying to live a normal life, for keeping faith with Harry's code, calling that a fake father instead of embracing blood, family. Dexter responds with, "I'm glad I killed you when I had the chance." Brian vanishes after this confrontation. Disclaimer, fan-made content. This video is a non-profit, fan-made production. It is a work of fiction and speculation created purely for entertainment and as a tribute to the Dexter franchise. We do not own the rights to the characters, names, settings, or any intellectual property, IP, associated with Dexter or Dexter, Original Sin or Dexter, Resurrection or Dexter, New Blood. All original content and IP belong to Showtime, Clyde Phillips, and the respective copyright holders. This video falls under fair use principles as a transformative and non-commercial work. Any resemblance to future or actual Dexter storylines is purely coincidental. Please support the official releases. If this fantasy episode gave you the continuation you've been craving, please consider helping us out. A like and a share truly tells the YouTube algorithm that the Dark Passenger is alive and well. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our next fan creations, and let us know your favorite theory in the comments below.